Hey guys, so this is tutorial number 8 on the LF1. So let's start by saving again. This tutorial is number 8 and we're gonna start off where we left off. What we did in tutorial number 7 was some of the interior walls. So we're gonna keep on detailing some of the facade system, right? And in this case I just want to work with, if I move into the volume 3, I'm going to work with this facade here, right? That we have left a little bit. So basically we need these elements, the floor, maybe floor number 1. I'm renaming everything with capital letters that I just want to stick to. Floor O2, right? So we need that. That's definitely important. So basically what we could do between these two elements, and the interior walls we can just hide, right? We can say intersect, and you can see that we created that line there, this line, that is intersection between those two. So we could just bring that line into section lines, right? Because this is a line that is a section line, and we can then get rid of the floor because we know that this is the line that we are going to use. This is how deep this facade goes, right? So let's start by in here, maybe hiding this stuff. We could extend the control points of that, but I'm going to do just something like 2 lines here and here, and say extend. The boundary lines is this one and this one. Right click. And then extend again. Boundary line that one. I think that we're having a little bit of a problem here because of the nature of this curve, right? So let's just go ahead and pick one of those points and then move it. As long as it's straight with ortho, we should. The only concern that we have is that it doesn't move in the z-axis, right? As long as this line is just completely straight, we're fine. And what we're doing with this line is just cutting the surface, all this extra stuff that we were producing before. I'm going to trim, select cutting object, this element, and then right click. So you can see now that this surface is not as steep as it used to be, and it just sits perfectly in this floor, right? So that's what we want. Now we're going to just basically isolate this element by selecting I enter, H enter, or invert and isolate. And again, in section lines, I can go ahead and then go into my section and start drawing some of the ingredients of this facade, right? So I could say there's that. This could be a straight line, but it seems to be a curve. I'm just going to do it as a curve. Right? Then I'm going to do a straight line here. And then I could just start. If I want to be more precise, I could just make a diagonal line and then copy it a few times and then trim all this stuff together. But I mean, I won't. I think that's it. Somewhere there, right? Right, so this element and this element and all this stuff we're gonna join. Okay, so we have this. So what we're gonna do is split. Select cutting object is this element. Oh, sorry. Split is here. Select objects to split. This one, right click, that one. And now we have the surface selected into these two elements, right? I did split and not trim because I want to just make this layer become part of the window layer, right? You can see that we changed it, and we can still kind of trim some of the excess here. Let's go ahead and check that, and of course we have these right here. We could say, there we go. So trim, select cutting object, this one, and you can see now that this surface and we can move it 0.24 with shift pressed towards the inside, right? So we have that situation. And that looks good. We can go into the volumes 3 and then maybe do some lots between some of the surfaces to start creating some of this thickness. Oops. There we go. We could do also a sweep if we would have projected line, but for now this is fine, right? So we've done all. Here, this corner, we might need to just do some further details, but that's fine for now, right? So what are we missing? What are we need to do all this drawing here, so we can go into again into section lines, and this is kind of all the window work. And what we'll do is basically just replicate this stuff. What I'm just doing is making duplicates of the line that I'll be working with, right? In this case, it's quite straightforward. What I'm just checking here is that I'm just not I'm passing through, right? It's not, I don't want to snap with anything really. I just want to make some of the outlines of the lines that I'll be working with. Then we can go and check the dimensions if you want, and then rationalize it a little bit. But I'm pressing Shift and Alt to make orthogonal. So you can see roughly what I'm doing here to do some of these points, right? And then these lines that we doubled, we can extend and use this curve. Or we will have to do a small curve on the top. So say extend, select the boundary line, this one, right click and select the curve to extend. Select boundary line, right click, and somehow it's giving us this option. And that's fine, right? So you see that we are kind of roughly drawing the outline of this facade. We will actually later trim all these lines, do some offsets, do some cleaning, and then just extrude some of these elements, right? So it's a very straightforward process. It's only just that in this case it's quite a bit of detail, right? So let's go ahead and just finish that. And it seems that this was designed quite right. Just following some of these lines. Make sure not to snap to anything. So then we could just project everything into the surface. Those two lines we should have continued them. Yeah. Same with this one. You can see that we're almost done with this. It's looking pretty good. So let's hide this stuff, and we can also hide the volume now and the window. So we have a more clear element to work with. We can say trim, and then get rid of all the excess here. Right. And then we could just go ahead and basically we could just pick all of it. We can bring back if we have any doubts. Here, for instance, string out the ingredients that are kind of excessive. It's looking pretty good. We were missing here these doors. Trim those. Right. And we can, I mean, you get the idea, right? So basically there's a few ways in which we could operate here. We could just start offsetting everything, right? And then extruding, or we could use these lines as some sort of profile, right? If these were lines, well, first of all, not all these lines are sitting on the same plane. So the first step would be just like bring our window, right? And we can hide the background. And we could select all the lines, say project, and pick this polysurface as the projection plane. So you can see that we start getting something much cleaner. And this green, yeah, we could leave that one. And this one we will hide as well. So now we know that we're working on the actual surface, right? If we missed some of the trims, like here, there's also a good command here that is called select duplicates, in case we have any elements duplicated. Right? We seem to have some of these lines also somewhere here, so I'm just going to get rid of those, just to make sure that we have everything on the same plane. And here, this as well, right? So in the case that this, oh, I think I deleted one of them. Right. So in case of any of these curves, we could do pipe, for instance. But pipe, you see that it works with a circle profile, right? So if you want to just thicken these lines, you can actually do something like that. But that's definitely not the way the project works, right? So what we want to do is just a profile, right? So let's go ahead and draw a profile. Let's just do a rectangle. I'm going to do something quite small, and like 0 0.03, 0 0.02. So we have that. Let's do that again by placing a point first, so we can actually position it if we need to. So 0 0.03, 0 0.02, and you can see that we can use this profile for a sweep. The surface sweep, select the rail here, select the cross section here, and that wouldn't work unless we just position that. So I'm gonna copy. First, let's zoom in by selecting, so we can zoom in the object, and then say copy. And I'm gonna point is active. I'm gonna just deactivate some of these snappings, so I can snap on point and then snap on endpoint of that line. And you can see that we can position our little profile here wherever we want. This seems to be a little shorter, so we're going to leave it and then extend it. And now we can try surface, sweep one rail, select the rail, this curve, and this is the cross section. So that's one of the rails. I'm going to repeat the sweep command. So you can see here that we are actually using the X to just do all this kind of sweeping these profiles. So in this case, this facade is a little bit kind of excessive in an amount of sticks that it works with, but you get the idea, right? So we're gonna just extend this one. So maybe I'll just pause the video and show you the finished version, and we'll go back when it's finished. Right, so you can see now that I have positioned basically where the points are different profiles, and I basically kind of sweep them up, right? The only thing that we're missing is the ones that go horizontal. So for that, I'm just going to pick our little profile here. That is somewhere here. We can make a copy of it so we can stick with the other one as well. And I'm going to rotate this one. So rotate 90 degrees, so we can see that we have it in this direction now, right? And I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to just copy it to position it from the centroid point here to the end point of my lines. If for that I need wireframe, that's fine. I could just copy again points, and you see that we can start positioning it, right? So a trick is that at this stage, because we're doing this line work, right, these kind of surfaces are coming in the way, so you can just select all poly surfaces and then press hide, and you'll see that we have isolated the model from poly surfaces, right? So again, I'm going to just do the sweep in two of them, show you how it's done. There we go, one of them. The next one with a sweep tool, and I'm going to do it for all of them and show you the end result. Right, so here we have the result, right? It would be interesting to just put this information in a different layer, because we have been working in the section lines, and we could call this section or elevation detail, right? And let's put it in some dark gray, maybe light gray even. So if we pick all poly surfaces again, you'll see that all these elements are poly surfaces. We just change them layer, and we could basically hide all the lines, right? And basically all the points as well. We have all those points. I will hide them because they might be useful. So we still are missing like some of the details of the doors, but this is kind of pretty straightforward now. So let's switch to this layer and completely hide that one. Is there anything that we can bring back? Yes. Let's turn on what we have. So we have the details of this facade. This facade is looking pretty good. Obviously we are still missing some of the detail that it will close in this direction, but now with the tools that you know, it would be quite simple to bring that in. So we could just start turning back on some of the elements, right? And you'll see that the model is starting to get all the detail that it has. The interior walls, this one, right? So we have some of the interior work, and the rest of the stuff will be probably in hands of you guys to figure out. I think we've seen enough to just finish the model with this. I hope that you have good luck with finishing the rest of it. This process here might have been a little bit more manual, but it's really straightforward. It's just we could see later in the later in the game just how to use Grasshopper and some other kind of resources to automate, or even scripting to automate some of these procedures. So yeah, that's it for now.